If you're in your early 60s with a large traditional IRA, there's a deadline most retirees don't know exists. One specific tax year, and only that year, is your last chance to convert money to a Roth without permanently raising your Medicare premiums. If you understand how this rule works before you hit it, you can sidestep the entire problem with one correctly timed conversion. Today, I'll walk you through the exact math, Mike's real numbers, so you can see the decision yourself. Mike is 62 years old, born in 1964. He has $900,000 in his traditional IRA and about $250,000 in a taxable brokerage account. He's single. He's not claiming Social Security yet. He plans to start at 67. Medicare begins at 65 in 2029. Mike wants to convert $115,000 this year. Before the math, the assumptions that will stay on screen. Single filer, $115,000 conversion, $20,000 in realized capital gains from brokerage withdrawals, $3,000 in interest and dividends. Inflation 2.5% annually. Medicare enrollment at 65. IRMA thresholds adjusted for inflation. Pennsylvania resident, no state tax on the conversion. If any of these change, the math changes. Here's the mechanism most people miss. Medicare uses a 2-year look-back to set your premiums. The income on your tax return today determines your Medicare Part B and Part D premiums 2 years from now. For Mike, Medicare starts in 2029. That means the first tax year that can affect his Medicare premiums is 2027, the year he turns 63. Any income before that year stays outside his Medicare record entirely. This is why 62 matters. Mike's 2026 income, the year he turns 62, cannot raise his Medicare premiums. Even if his income spikes, even if he converts a large amount, it's his last tax year before Medicare starts reviewing his income. Let's see what that means in dollars. Path A. Mike converts $115,000 this year at age 62. Adding his $20,000 in realized capital gains plus $3,000 in interest and dividends, his modified adjusted gross income for 2026 is $138,000. That MAGI would be above the IRMA threshold for any Medicare year, but Mike isn't on Medicare yet. 2027 sits outside the 2-year look-back window entirely. No calculation, no surcharge, no Medicare exposure for this income. His federal tax on this conversion is about $17,400, ordinary income tax on the conversion, plus 15% on the capital gains. And because Pennsylvania generally doesn't tax Roth conversions for its residents, Mike pays 0 at the state level. Path A is done. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now, Path C. Same Mike, same $115,000 conversion, but this time he waits 3 years and converts at 65, the year Medicare starts. His 2029 MAGI is about $140,000, slightly higher than Path A after 3 years of inflation. The 2031 IRMA threshold, projected at 2.5% annual inflation, is about $123,300. Mike is over it by roughly $17,000. That puts him in IRMA Tier 1 for 2031. The Part B plus Part D surcharge costs him roughly $1,200 that year. And while turning 65 adds $2,050 to his standard deduction, the $6,000 temporary senior bonus deduction that existed through 2028 has sunsetted. Path C carries the highest structural cost. Here's the moment the rule flips. Age 63. 2027. Mike converts the same amount, his MAGI, about $139,000 with 1 year of inflation applied, crosses the 2029 projected IRMA threshold of $117,382 by over $21,000. Mike is 65 in 2029. He's on Medicare. IRMA triggered. The exact same conversion, done 1 year after Mike's last protected tax year, costs him Medicare surcharges. This is the breakpoint. So what's the real cost of waiting? Between Path A and Path C, the federal tax bills come out within a few $100s of each other. The penalty is in the Medicare premiums. A single conversion in 2029 triggers roughly $1,200 in IRMA surcharges 2 years later, directly caused by converting after Mike's protected year. If you were to repeat this conversion annually, that penalty would multiply every year. A few things to keep straight. IRMA is based on modified adjusted gross income, not taxable income. It's tied to the specific tax year Medicare looks at, not a lifetime number. And the thresholds are cliffs, not slopes. Being $1 over the line costs you the full tier surcharge. Here's what actually matters. This isn't about your tax rate. It's not about your conversion size in isolation. It's about calendar timing versus Medicare's 2-year lookback. The last tax year before that lookback starts is the most valuable conversion year of your retirement. Here's the timeline to map out this week. Find the year you turn 65. Assuming your birthday isn't January 1st, look 3 years before that. That tax year, and only that year, is the last one Medicare will never review. Every dollar you convert before December 31st of that year stays outside your Medicare record. Every dollar after counts towards your premium. If you don't want to overpay in retirement, subscribe. Every video here solves one exact decision that could save you thousands. No opinions, just the math.